but at the age of 1 I was shipped over to the country of Nepal. My parents were medical doctors there, and I was raised in Nepal and India for the whole time my mom and dad were in that country. That was 25 years. So I'm Indian, I'm American, and now I'm Canadian because my wife, Miranda Stone, she's a Canadian girl and we live in Toronto. I'm a sitar player and I sing Indian devotional songs to Jesus. There's a path in India, a spiritual path known as bhakti. There are many different paths, but bhakti is probably the most popular. And it basically means total surrender to a personal God with loving devotion. And I relate to that. I believe in total surrender to my personal God who is personal to me, and to worship Him with loving devotion. So the name for Jesus in Hindi is Yeshu. So they're Yeshu Bhakti songs, Yeshu devotion songs. They come from what is the belief among some people in India that to be a follower of Jesus and to be a Hindu in a cultural sense is something that's very valid and very possible. And so Yeshu Bhaktas are Hindus who follow Jesus exclusively. And we have learned their songs. We've also composed music to some of their lyrics, a combination of learning and composing. And that's what we're all about. We've got 4 albums of this Hindi devotional music to Jesus, and we sing it all over the world. I was born Christian family in terms of cultural Christian family that also had a deep spiritual belief in Jesus, but it was still a cultural Christian family. We got, the idea of getting married was that you get married to a woman in a white dress. The way that we would die would be, if my dad died, we'd get a casket, we'd bury him in the ground, So I'm very much part of cultural Christianity, even though I say that I'm about relationship, not about religion, but I'm very much about religion too when it comes to these default things. Going to the youth group meeting, the youth retreat, the singles thing, these all cultural things. So I'm very much a cultural Christian, even though I grew up in Nepal and India for 25 years. So I would never even be able to say I'm a Hindu. I think to be a Hindu is really to be someone who was born in that civilization for thousands of years. Their ancestors are from there, they're Hindu people. And it doesn't really mean that they are of a particular religion. It means they are born that way. And they could believe in any number of things. So it's not useful for me to call myself a Hindu. It's not going to communicate a lot, and I don't need to. I'm happy to be considered a cultural Christian who has found a faith in Jesus Christ. And I like the way Brian McLaren puts it. He says, I'm a follower of God in the way of Jesus. I really would love to be able to say that I'm a follower of God in the way of Jesus.
What's going on here?
Well, Miranda, my wife, she has been coming to Cornerstone for years as a performer as Miranda Stone. And every time she performed here, on the last day of her performance, she would cook up a big meal. Her campsite actually used to be just like 50 feet from here. Cook up a big Indian meal, vegetarian, and serve it to all the campers all around her, and friends, whoever she invited. And when I met her here at Cornerstone in 2002, she saw me playing sitar and said, oh, you're the sitar guy. I missed your show, but could you come and play for my dinner? So anyway, 2 years later we got married, and ever since then, this whole idea of doing dinner, free dinner for people, creating community has grown and grown and grown to the elaborate state of a gigantic tea house that we built in 3 days before arriving at Cornerstone. So it's been fun every night, impromptu open mic nights of people just singing. A girl last night, she played 2 recorders simultaneously, which is unbelievable. I don't know how she did it, but right here while the hardcore was going on all around us, we could barely hear her, but it was awesome. And we're loving being here, creating community.